Welcome back. So we're just gonna go ahead and do what I did here. You see, I just added a second set of functions, if you will. These are setters, and I've added two comments. Here it says setters. Here it says getters, and down below it says setters. These comments are not affecting the code in any way. This is purely for your and my convenience. Now over here we have our three previous get functions, get methods or getters, and down below I have created three new setters. So they will enable the setting of each day, month, and year in an individual fashion. You have basically just set day, set month, set year. We won't need to set them all at once. We don't need to write these comments. This is just something that I wrote for myself. No big deal. Also, what did I do here? I moved these variables out of the public, and I have moved the public down below. So the public only encompasses the methods, and it does not encompass the attributes. The attributes are now private and are not visible outside of the class. They can only be accessed through the methods within the classes which are in public. So you can only retrieve the value of the day through a getter. So get day, which will return the value of the day. And you can only set it by either using this setter or by using this general setter for all three attributes. No other way. It's a fairly simple concept. This is all that I have added in terms of code, these three functions, and I have moved the public from the top to here, and now these three variables are there. Now we can directly set each of our attributes. Some other object-oriented programming principles that you should have somewhere in the back of your mind are basically hiding information, which is already known. This is what we have done here. Look, we have hid these three attributes. They are no longer visible at all outside of the class, meaning we're protecting them in a way. You also have encapsulation. We're logically basically just grouping the variables. And there are two other principles over which which will be explained down the long line, as it's not really convenient for me to explain them now due to the fact that they are rather complex things. You have inheritance and polymorphism. Well, maybe not that complex, but it can get complicated. Anyway, those two will be explained later on down the line, but for the time being, I just want to show you how you can protect your attributes, in a sense, hide them, and then only allow access to these attributes through the given functions which you yourself have defined. So no other function through the methods that you yourself have provided. So what does this mean for you? No other method outside of this class date can mess around with these directly. They can only alter them, and they can only be altered through the methods provided down below. So you have void set day, set month, set year. Why am I writing it all in one line function like this? Well, I might have just as well written it in this fashion. But since I only have one very short line of code within the function, that's like no problems. I keep calling it a function. It's a method because it's inside of a class, but it's pretty much the same. I could have written it like this, but no need to waste space. Be as efficient as you can, and I just placed all of these in one single line. Here I can even compile the program. Let's see if it runs. And no, it doesn't. Right. Okay. Genius. I am a genius. Okay. This is why you should compile it all the time while coding. So enter date, I don't know, 10th of 2010. Enter date is 10th of the 10th of 2010, and down below it says month 10th. Okay, this is irrelevant. The reason why I actually compiled the code, we will get to this a little bit later. I mean, we have written it out, so we know how it works. but what is important is that you click this build and run button as many times as possible during the time when you write the code. I'm not pressing it that many times now because I have the code written out on the other screen, but it's good. It's a good practice to continuously build your code while you are coding so that you can preemptively see where the errors lie. Not write the entire code and then run it and then get 3 billion errors and then go fixing them one by one. You fix one, you create 10 others. No, while you're coding, while you're creating the code, press it as many times as you can, compile your code, and see what happens. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and bid you farewell here. This is just a short fragment of the first part of this video that I had to basically split and place it in part 2, but I just wanted to show you that you can also use the getters and move your attributes into the private section so that they would not be visible and would be hidden effectively from pretty much everything else. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and move on into the follow-up tutorial. Don't delete anything. We shall still be utilizing this class and possibly expanding it as well. We're gonna have some fun with exceptions.